Hello all, I'm Kevin. I'm currently working as a data science and business analytics intern in the Spark Foundation. This is my video of task 1, prediction using supervised ML. My problem statement is to predict the score of a student based on the number of study hours. That is, what will be the predicted score if a student studies for 9.25 hours a day? Let's jump into the code. First block of code contains the necessary imports. The imports involves pandas, sklearn, numpy, and matplotlib. These are the major functions and packages I will be using in the following process. First of all, we are getting the training dataset from the URL and reading the data using the pandas.readcsv function. After getting the data, we will do some exploratory data analysis over our training dataset. This involves usage of two functions like info and describe. These two functions give an overview of our dataset. First of all, info method. This method returns a number of columns, the column names, if it has any null values, and count the number of null values and data type. What is the data type of the hours and scores? Then describe method. This method gives an mathematical overview of our data set. That is, it gives a mean, standard deviation, minimum value, 25% quantile, 50% quantile, 75% quantile, and maximum value along this columns and along these scores columns. Next, visualizing our data. We will be visualizing our data over hours and scores of a student. We will be plotting the number of hours studying of a student over the x-axis and scores the student gets over the y-axis. We can see that the blue line represents the hours of the student studying and the orange line represents the scores scored by the student. Then we will be using scatter function to find out the relationship between the two columns, that is the hours versus the scores. We can see that we can interpret that these two are directly proportional. That is, when the number of study hours increases, the scores will also get increases. These kinds of data we will be getting over our using the scatter function. Next, after visualizing our data, we will pre-process the data. Pre-processing over here involves checking if our training data contains any null values. By using the function isNull function, I will check whether it has any null value, and some returns the number of null values present over the columns of hours and scores. After verifying that our data doesn't contains any null values, we will be extracting the data for training our model. That is that is extracting hours column in the training data set and store it in the y variable, and extracting the scores column from the train data set and store it in the y variable. Next, we will be splitting our data into train and test. The reason why we are splitting our data into train and test is to evaluate our model's performance. We will be using the test set, that is out of sample data, by comparing the accuracy you are getting using the training data and using the test set data. Test set accuracy will be more accurate. So we will be separating our data into train and test, and then using this test set we will be evaluating our accuracy of our model. Then the training phase. We can see that the output label is a continuously varying regression values. We will be using linear regression for this for our problem statement. This will better suits for our problem statements too. Next, by using the fit method, I will be train our model using the x train and y train values. After the model trained, we can get an overview of how our model actually fits the data That is, this line represents the our model, and this points represents the x train and y train values. We can see that our model is fitted over to the data points. So after training, we will make predictions. That is, we will predict testing values over our model. That is, uh, we have already seen that we will be splitting our data into train and test. After using, we will be using train for our testing purposes and test to test the accuracy of our model. The training phase has already completed, so we will now making the predictions using the test data set. This predict method returns the values of the predicted value. I'm going to store this in the yPredict variable, and then I will be computing the score. Score is nothing but our accuracy of our model. That is how our model is performing. This involves comparing the y predicted output and then y test output by comparing the predicted output versus the actual output. You may wonder why I haven't used y predict, instead I have used x test. The reason is that what the score method does is actually it actually computes it internally, takes the X test data and fed back into the model.predict value, and then the returned value of this predict method will be used over here. That is, this is same as comparing y predict comma y test. We can see that our model has an accuracy of over 93%, but this is not the original accuracy. The reason is this accuracy is mainly dependent on the hyperparameter random state we are chosen over here. It is actually it depends on the random state hyperparameter, and it has high variance. It can also goes to 80%, it can also goes to 95% or 97%. It is high variance value. So to get the low varied accuracy, we will be using the crossval score. You can see these are some of the values I have gotten for different random state values. Next, to evaluate the original accuracy of our model, we will be fitting it into the cross-val score method. What this method does is same as the score method. It does actually split the data into 5 folds. For example, consider that our training data set contains 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What it does is that in the first step, it will use for number 1 for testing and the remaining for training. And in the second phase, it will use 2 for testing and the remaining for training. And in the third phase, 3 will be used for testing and the remaining will be used for training, and so on. By doing so, this will compute an average accuracy. It will return, actually it will return a series of accuracy. That is accuracy when 1 is a test set sample plus accuracy when 2 is the test set sample. This series of values will be returned by the cross-val score method. By using the mean method, I will compute the average value. That is, this will turns to be the low varied accuracy of our model. Then coming to the error part. That is, error doesn't means that. However, it actually error actually means that how our actual value deviates from the predicted value. That is, the deviation between the predicted value and the actual value is computed over the error. That is, this method, as I said before, this method returns the deviation between the y predict and y test. The computed mean absolute error for our model is 5.4. Finally, we will come into the question. What will be the predicted score if a student studies for 9.25 hours a day? That is our question. So I am passing 9.25 as to our model to get the predicted value. This method returns 91.97. This is the predicted value. That is, if a student studies for 9.25 hours a day, he will get approximately 91.97 marks percentage in the exam. Over this, we come to the end of our video. Thanks for watching.